In the play Fences, Rose, Bono, Curry, and Gabriel are the main protagonists, whereas Troy is the one and only antagonist in the story, as he constantly ruins his family's lives in a miserable way, such as preventing his own son from achieving his dream. The story takes place in the streets of Pittsburgh. They have important social and political meaning as they are indicators of the movements by African Americans who were black slaves in the past. Several references to actual historical occurrences that influenced the lives of Black Americans at the time, such as the Great Migration and the Civil Rights Movement, are referred throughout the play. The 1950s lack of prospects for African Americans and the racial tensions that persisted in many American cities are also depicted on the Pittsburgh streets, thus serving as an important setting for the Maxim family, which is composed of African Americans. The climax of the plot is when Troy beats Corey in a physical fight, which makes Corey leave the house permanently. It functions as a turning point through showing Troy's inability to treat his family properly and ironic character development of pretentiously putting his family first but actually treating them harshly. After this incident, Troy dies, serving as a major transition in the play. The title Fences does not simply mean the boundaries people establish in their backyards to prevent others from entering their house. Fence is one symbol in the play that represents both Troy's desire to protect his loved ones safely and his inability to connect with them emotionally. The book contains racism, especially discriminatory and condescending views towards African American people, which is shown through sports such as baseball and football. My favorite passage from the book is the ending of the book, when Gabriel realizes that he wasn't actually the Gabriel, the angel from the Bible, who announces the judgment day through blowing the trumpet. It was hilarious to watch him being so baffled about nothing happening when he blew the trumpet after Troy died. My favorite scene from the book is when Corey and Raynell both sing the song named A Dog Named Blue, which is about a possum-treeing dog that was loyal to Troy unconditionally. Such loyalty is what I believe Troy seeks from his own son, Corey. However, this generational difference between Troy and Corey divided them apart. Troy has a strong mistrust of authority and a sense of pride in his own independence as a result of his experiences as a child growing up in a racially separated environment. While growing up, Corey lived in a society where opportunities for African Americans were growing, and he had an ambition of playing collegiate football. Such differences in generations prevented Curry from being loyal and a good boy like the dog Blue, which puts an emphasis on the contrasting attitudes toward the father and humans' willingness to stay independent. Overall, I didn't really enjoy the misogynistic attitude of Troy because I didn't like reading Rose getting treated so harshly. The theme of racism highlights the generational gap between Troy and Corey in terms of their perspectives of sports. In the past, Troy has been neglected as a prospective baseball player due to the wife-favored society, but now the sports industry has changed and also prefers athletes like Corey, who's African American. Furthermore, the theme of unachievable dreams also exists. In the play, the Maxim family consists of family members that are not able to achieve their dreams due to external factors that include racism, familial responsibility, and oppression. This helps us understand the internal conflicts between each family member and their motives for living their lives. The theme of difference in status and roles between women and men is clearly demonstrated throughout the play. Women are generally considered to fulfill the duties as housewives, and men are responsible for financially supporting their families. Troy does everything a man was expected to do, and Rose also takes care of the child, which is what society would expect a woman would do. As mentioned before, Fence is one symbol in the play that represents both Troy's desire to protect his loved ones safely and his inability to connect with them emotionally. Such symbolism adds meaning to the text through providing an irony, because later in the play, he himself puts boundaries of relationship between him and his son and his wife, which was not Troy's intention of creating the fences in the first place. Such a difference is not overcome in the end, and Troy dies lonely, showing a tragic ending of her character. Because the story is written in the form of a play, there are no perspectives that exist. I would recommend this book to anyone who is interested in studying African Americans in the period of the 1950s, when there were discriminatory views towards the African Americans. Overall, I give this book a 7 out of 10.